What's up, Buck fans? Welcome back to Real Bucs Talk. It's live stream Monday, and guess what? It's finally a victory Monday. I know it's only been one game we lost, but it was one damn bad game. And it hurt me to my core. But if you guys are new to the channel, I'm Mark. This is Mike. We are Real Bucs Talk. We keep it real when talking Buccaneers. Cliche, huh? But realistically, today's victory Monday. Let's talk about it. 46-23, the Buccaneers prevail over the Panthers. I know I was screaming and yelling at the TV. Plus, how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I watched it, after the fact. Once the game was over, I had to rewatch it. I missed the game yesterday. I was doing some, running around, got busy, but just seeing the score and seeing how they played, seeing the execution of the play calls, I think were definitely much better. And this is what they should do against a team like Carolina. Carolina's beat up. They're a younger team on defense. Offensively, they're trying to figure out some things, without Christian McCaffrey. So that's a big loss. But yeah, the Bucs just took care of business. And it's pretty funny. They could have probably scored like 66 points if they wanted to. They left some points out there, but they did what they had to and winning the football game. And, it's on to the next week. Again, this is why it's a week to week league. You go from, an ass kicking from the Saints, and then you come back the next week and, pretty much, stomp the Panthers in your own right. So, again, a good job by the Buccaneers.
Yeah, so let's talk about the 46 points first. So we went from last week, we only scored 3 damn points, no touchdowns. To this week, we got Tom Brady with 4 total touchdowns himself, Ronald Jones with a touchdown, and it just looked like we couldn't do anything wrong. We just, everywhere we threw the ball, it worked. Everywhere we ran the ball, it worked. Mm-hmm. So let's start with Tom Brady. I know there were some missed opportunities. We'll get onto that. Mm-hmm. But what did you see from him from last week to this week? Well, just give me in a nutshell. What'd you think?
Yeah, I think, obviously the play calling, I think, set up better things for him. Obviously the use of play action right off the gate, I think, was good. Chris Godwin looked more comfortable, but Tom just did a better job of really spreading the ball around. I mean, you had 7 catches by Antonio Brown, and then I think it was 6 and 6 for Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So there's a lot of good things there. Again, it didn't look like he was trying to force the football in any direction. He was just taking what the defense gave him, playing Tom Brady, type of football where, being patient and understanding, what the defense is presenting and then attacking the mismatch. So they did a good job of that.
Yeah, so there's already some fun points inside the chat. So some guys are saying about how Mike Evans dropped some passes, but overall offensive performance was great. There's something I was saying during the game. I was tweeting out that Brady must have thrown the ball too hard because obviously our guys just don't drop passes. I mean, it's got to be someone's fault every time. I think people point the finger at the wrong guy a lot of the times, but that's also in there. And then Brady was accounting for win too much. That's actually something, yeah, because Bruce Arians was saying in the press conference after the game. But yeah, let's talk about that then. The 3 missed passes. I believe it was 1 to Gronk deep, 1 very early to Antonio Brown, and 1 to Mike Evans. All of them, they were wide open. Let's be honest. They were fairly wide open. To me, it just seemed like either he just stepped up, trying to kind of rushed it. Some of them, I don't even know he shouldn't have rushed it. It was there to make the play. So this 46-23 could have been 60-23. But either way, I mean, the win's a win. To me, Tom Brady made some amazing damn throws in this game. Like that one he had to Godwin in the second drive, his first drive was a fumble, where we ended up scoring a touchdown. That back shoulder, like just between 2 defenders, insane. He stepped up amazingly in this game, a la A.Q. Shipley and Jensen playing much better in the inside than Joe Haig did last week.
Right.
That was huge to me. His ability to step up, and he even had like a little rollout that looked so damn natural. I was like, damn, Mike Vick's in the game. But overall, I mean, he played error-free football. I guess he may have missed some deep passes, but at least there weren't interceptions. They weren't forced. I even saw him throw a ball away where first read wasn't there. There's a guy bearing down his face. He didn't eat it. He threw it away. Little things like that create winning habits, winning momentum, because you're not causing the ball to go the other way. So Tom Brady did his damn thing. He's not perfect. I'm never saying he is. But Mike Evans can't drop the ball 3 damn times. He dropped 1 touchdown. He stopped on a route on another one. He dropped one at the 1 yard line. So, I mean, yes, I'm going to point a finger where I can see to point a finger. But overall, I'm not going to get mad. Oh, they were balanced attack all over the field on offense to wide receivers. I'll let you talk about Gronkowski too. How do you do?
Right. And that's the big thing. Like you said, error free by Tom Brady, which was good. He played just a much better overall game. I seemed more comfortable. The offensive line protected better. The use of Ronald Jones in the running game, that, definitely helps. He had a nice balance attack where, we're just taking advantage of what Carolina was presenting. And then, yeah, Gronk made some big time catches. I like the use of Cameron Brate.
Oh yeah,
They converted some big, like, key third downs, and that was really huge, especially early in the game. That Chris Godwin play, that was a big third down completion. Like, if you don't get that, you're probably either kicking a long field goal or punting. So
mm-hmm.
that changed the game. Being able to convert on those third and longs consistently. They had what was it, 3rd and 19? I think he got it to Cam Brate, and Cam Brate like does a Superman and makes the first down.
Yeah,
Down the side, down the sideline. So just the use of him, and then Gronkowski. Gronk probably could have had another touchdown. Like you said, he missed him earlier, but using the play action and getting him involved, and yeah, it was really good. So just the sequencing was much better. And there were certain things that I saw, especially in the red zone, that I didn't like. I didn't like the waste of, the back-to-back runs with Ronald Jones. I didn't like that, especially in a bunch formation or jumbo package. Don't like that call. Then there's a couple of things like, they got it to, I think, the 3-yard line, and they have an opportunity there. They miss it. I think Tyler Johnson dropped it, and then they kicked the field goal. I was like, I didn't like that. You should have just went for it. That's my thing. Go for it when you're inside the 5 and try to score the touchdown. I understand you're up already at that point and you're trying to add more points, but yeah, I would just go for the 7, but that's me. Anyway, overall, very good job. Again, they scored 46 points, so I can't really criticize them. I mean, 46 points is still 46 points. Ryan Suckup did his job, so that was awesome. He got 12 points. Yeah, 12 points for us. Plus the other, I guess, what would be 5 touchdowns. So yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, he had 8 kicks. He made them all. Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, he had the blunder on the extra point, but that wasn't his fault. Again, Joe Haig got pushed back, and that caused the block for the extra point. But other than that, he was awesome.
Oh, I'm very happy with him. Very happy with his performance. Yeah. It's been something we haven't had to talk about for so damn long. It feels strange. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's almost like you're like, something bad's gonna happen, but let's get that bad juju off our chest and out of sight, out of mind. He's just making every damn kick. But before I keep going, there's a lot of people in the chat. Make sure if you haven't done it yet, I know you have it because the amount of people in there doesn't match the like button. So go ahead and hit that like button for us. You're already commenting, but let's keep going on. Before you know what? Let's just do this now. Let's jump into some film. So majority of y'all, if y'all are new here or just seeing us for the first time, our faces, usually you see us doing film breakdowns. And luckily, NFL.com or NFL higher-ups decided to get everything done fast over the night. And we have a whole bunch of film to show you. So we're going to give you a little, I guess, tidbit of what's to come. Probably Wednesday or Tuesday. We'll see based on how fast things are coming out. But let's give you some game film breakdown. Some cool things that we saw during the game. But let's jump on over. Yep. If you haven't seen Jess yet, subscribe down below. But let's talk about some Buccaneer plays that we kind of thought were cool to see. Plus, I'll let you break this one down first. It's Tom Brady's, I think, first throw of the game.
Yeah, this is what we want to see. Play action. You're setting up a good pocket. And look at all that space there to operate to throw to Chris Godwin. Godwin does a great job of setting this up. Setting up the corners with the, pushing like he's going to go vertical. You got a good sell here by Tom Brady. So just look at all that space that it creates in the middle of the field. You see the linebackers jump up. So you have a window there to throw to. And it's just a nice strike. Good timing. That's a good play.
My biggest thing is just watch Chris Godwin's route on this. So he's running directly at the cornerback, not giving away anything. Then he makes one little move to the outside. The cornerback turns his back. The second the cornerback turns his back, he's dropping all of his weight down, turning back inside, and leaves the cornerback on skates falling down. And then look at that, 5-yard separation on a route where the cornerback's waiting for him pretty much in the zone coverage. That's disgusting. Chris Godwin made this. I know the play action works. You're getting some illusion, it could be a run, but this nasty route, let me see if I can draw on this. So he's literally running at the guy, gives a little illusion he's going to go out. The second the cornerback turns around, he drops his legs down, turns around, and just goes inside to make an easy appearance for the quarterback. Big body, catch the ball, get down, secure the catch. Beautiful play.
And also, credit to Rojo on that last play with the pass protection. So that's really a key part of it. You got to get that backside, rusher. So that gives Tom just enough time. Good job. Has time to step up and then throw it. But yeah, let's continue as we'll see the Cam Brate touchdown here.
I'll let you break this down. We also saw this multiple times in this game as well in the Vegas game, right?
Correct. Yeah, this is a good concept that they like to run. Again, they have, bunch formation to the bottom of the screen here. They're going to run a various number of routes. Basically, one's going to go to the flat, one's going to sit in the middle, then one's going to go to the deep middle of the end zone. And then on the other side, you have a good mix of a slant inside from Evans. And then it looks like Brate's going to go inside, but he cuts back outside. And just a well-placed football. And this was the right read by, Tom Brady, just seeing that, Brate's got the size advantage. He's got the space already. And that's a well-timed placed football for the touchdown. Great job by Brady and Cam Brate. And I like to see this more because
it's almost like a pick too.
Yeah. It's a natural pick. He's faking to the outside and coming back inside. And then Cam's going inside and then going back outside. So it's a nice, just get them off balance there. But I like the connection.
And perfect throw. I mean, perfect accuracy. Yep. So people were complaining, he's throwing the ball too hard. I can't throw bullets. Guys, you're going to tell me this isn't a bullet that's hitting him right at the tips of his hands? Cam Brate comes down with it. If you look at a different angle in the broadcast view, it hits one hand, he still catches it. Tyler Johnson, same damn catch. So I don't want to hear crying. It's a ball that hits your hands. You're called a receiver for a reason. Receive the ball. But let's keep going on. The biggest run of the day of the franchise.
Yeah, history.
So first things first, I want to talk about Brady. This was Brady's decision to move Godwin over. And watch what it does. Linebacker drifts over as well, thinking, the run's going to be here. Let's all cover this one area. Well, the run's not going that way. What happened, Plus?
Right, yeah, you nailed it. I mean, moving Godwin over, brings that linebacker over, and then you have a nice seal here by Donovan Smith, and then Jensen gets up to the second level. And then it's off to the races after Jones makes that guy miss. So yeah, it's a really good play concept because we've seen this play before. When Godwin goes into motion, usually we're going to run to his direction, but that's not the case. And they do a good job of setting up the run to the weak side and, just get a hat on a hat. And then, Ronald Jones does a great job of just seeing it right away, fitting his body through there.
And let's also add this. So people think, offensive linemen are just grabbing and pushing forward. Look at the positioning. So Donovan Smith over here, he's trying to get more inside just to get leverage. He's knowing that this has to be that little seal they're trying to do. They're trying to go right up the butt of Jensen to create a hole. Even you can see Shipley, his left leg is more forward than the right leg. They're trying to angle themselves to get better leverage against the defensive lineman. Jensen just luckily only has one guy to cover and then one safety to beat, and he's gone. Great run, great execution. And then 98 yards, longest run in Tampa Bay history. And then the last one.
Crazy.
Right? I was screaming some bad things during that damn run. But last one, this is the defense. Thank the Lord we got some pressure. So now we actually have how many guys could be coming. This is the stuff that we didn't do against the Saints. We just played passively, just crybaby football. I don't know why we did it that game. But now, who's coming? Look at all these guys in the box. What's going to happen? You don't know who's coming at you. Really, what's going to happen? Dean's going to come in on the edge. JPP drops back. And what happens? He gets an interception with 3 fingers. Why don't you break it down more?
Right. This is the kind of style that we want to see. It's the zone blitzes that we've all been talking about, playing tighter coverage once we send that blitz, guys coming up into, their areas. You see like the levels there, everyone's covered, everyone's in the right spot. And then you're getting pressure from the outside, you're forcing, you're getting inside pressure as well. So yeah, you're forcing a decision from Teddy, and that's what you want to see. And then JPP being in where he's supposed to be, and he executes the play this time and comes down with the catch.
And it's a thing of beauty. And then it's the rushed decision, something Drew Brees didn't have in his game. So yeah, supposedly we broke some ribs on that game, and then the 49ers just rebroke them. But we'll touch on that later, guys. It's just the illusion of pressure here, forcing a decision. Stuff we talked about in the preview. Get back to your identity, and thank the Lord the Buccaneers did it. Ends up JPP, and let's watch them celebrate a little bit. I don't know what the hell this is, but I want to see more of it. Well, guys, yeah, that's the stuff you probably know us for. Probably cleaner because we can edit things out. But other than that, I mean, that was a cool, great game to go over. I mean, there's a whole lot more offensive highlights because the defense wasn't out there that long.
Right.
But overall, exciting. There's going to be a lot of highlights to go over. But plus, I'll let you talk about the defense a little while I catch up on some of these questions over here.
Yeah, defensively, I thought they, like we just showed there, they got back to what they did best. Obviously starting the game off with a 3-and-out, that was very impressive. They had some, difficulty in the first half, especially with their little bit of gap control issues on some of the Carolina runs, but they definitely tightened that up in the second half. There were some things, pass coverage wise in the first half where they allowed some things. They're playing a little bit soft as far as coverages. Again, Carolina did a good job of executing the quick passing game. But for the most part, I thought they did very well. Obviously you had one touchdown that was set up by a turnover, the first drive of the Bucs offense, Ronald Jones fumbles, and then they score on that drive. They went for it on 4th down, I believe, in that drive. And, I thought we should have played a little bit more aggressive there, played a little bit soft, and they attacked Carlton Davis in the soft coverage. We're able to get a first down. So there are some things that I thought definitely they need to pick up, especially in the red zone defense. They're 20th in the league right now. So that's something that needs to improve. They need to get tougher in that area and hold these teams to field goals, especially if they want to win in the playoffs, going up against these better teams that know how to score. So overall, though, it was a really good game. I thought they did a lot of good things better in the second half. It seemed like they started taking control and really dictating the game. They got after Teddy Bridgewater definitely more, and they were causing pressure. Anthony Nelson almost had a sack. He should have probably had a sack, but good job overall. I think they only allowed 183 yards total offense, so did a pretty good job. And it just looked like more Buccaneers football.
Total yards 187. Did you say 189?
I said 183.
So I was 187. You see that little bit? That no, not credible. Not credible at all.
No.
To be honest, look at this. Landslide. 544 to 187.
Yeah.
Bloodbath.
I mean, we pretty much controlled the game. I don't think the Bucs punted at all.
We didn't. It was that one fumble, and the rest was nothing.
So we did a good job of controlling the game. I believe the Panthers offense only had 48 snaps, which is pretty impressive. It still sucks that you gave up 23 points. Most likely you probably should have only given up 9 if, you don't have that turnover, then the long, kickoff return that sets them up for, 2 easy touchdowns. But yeah, other than that, I thought they did really good. And then, special teams with the 4th down stop, Justin Watson, being aware of getting that sack. That was actually a great play by Chappelle Russell, who tackled, I believe it was Jeremy Chin, because they were going to throw the ball to Jeremy Chin, and he just took him out of the play right away. So that's why the punter looked like he was doing some type of fake.
Yeah.
He had no one to go to. So that's a really good, just being aware.
All right, so something to touch on. So one thing I noticed that the Giants did, the Saints did, and now it looks like the Panthers are doing, it's a trend. It's attacking Jamel Dean.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be, this guy's great in man, but if he's ever in his zone, attack him. first touchdown of the game, Dean not in assignment. Once he knows who he has to cover, he's pretty damn good. If he's sitting in his zone, he doesn't know. He has to cover space. He's not the best at. Even I was lurking on run support. Sometimes I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, don't let them get to the outside. That's your one job as a cornerback. Don't let them get the outside. I think it was probably two times that he allowed it. With that big body, he's like damn near 6'2", 230 at corner. That's, well, not 230, but 215 around there. He looks 230. I mean, you can't allow that stuff to happen. I think it's just more mental lapses. This is stuff we saw Shaq Barrett messing up earlier in the season. Right. Everyone likes to shit on SMB a lot, so it's just knowing where to be. A lot of people are saying, oh, these young guys, just they can't do it. Guess what? They're going to have to do it. They've gotten night and day better from last year. You just saw 4 or 5 games last year at the end of the year where they played lights out. Everything was clicking. I think they have the potential to get back to that again. I think they just have had a spurt of just bad games. Dean still had a couple good plays in this game. Right. So there's a reason why they was 17-17 at halftime, and then they only scored 6 points after. They shut it down.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you said, Dean made some good plays. He had a big play on third down early, I believe, making a stop. That was coming off of pressure that we sent. So it just seems like when we're in that mode of, sending pressure consistently, playing, different types of coverages where we have these guys moving up or back, it seems to help us a lot. And you can see offenses are definitely adjusting. You're seeing a lot more double moves against our corners as they see that's kind of the weakness. We saw that yesterday against Mike Edwards. Thankfully, he didn't catch the ball. And DJ Moore, that is. Yeah. But, that's definitely, you're seeing stuff like that where they're definitely attacking, whether it be Dean or even Sean Murphy Bunting more. They're trying to find ways to, get them out in space and go after it. But as long as we can, continue to stay aggressive and do those things where we're getting after the quarterback, sending Devin White more forward than backwards, I like our chances. And they definitely did. They took care of business, especially in the second half. They were much better.
Well, I mean, overall, even in the first half, besides the one, the quick, wide receiver screen where that dude got ran over. Cockrell? Is that his name?
Poor number 43. Yeah.
But either way, I mean, you got to give Panthers credit. They timed a perfect play for that defensive setup. Antoine Winfield blitzed, and guess what? There was only one guy to cover, and that left tackle ran him the hell over. I mean, the wide receiver went towards the ball. Cockrell was kind of in a deer in the headlights, and the left tackle ran right through his ass. So it was a perfectly timed play for that defensive setup. If you're rushing from that outside,
for sure,
give them credit.
Yeah, the execution was really good by Carolina early, and then it seemed like the Bucs just started figuring things out, and they made adjustments, going into the second half, and definitely, picked up the play. But really, it was the offense just taking control. They had a lot of long drives too. The offense did, just taking up time and chewing the clock, keeping the chains moving, which was good. Obviously you had the one play for 98 yards. That's not long, but they just continue to move the football, which was really impressive, and converting, third and long situations. And then Carolina wasn't converting at all on third down. That was the big key.
Wait, didn't we get the interception right after that big touchdown?
I believe so. Yeah. And then JPP was upset that we didn't score a touchdown on that drive. So.
Oh, something to touch on. So we'll show it in the film study that I saw earlier in the season against the Bears. Same thing happened on this goal line. You're saying they ran the ball twice? I didn't mention it.
Yeah.
Donovan Smith has a tendency to get lazy and run blocking when we're at the 1 or 2, wherever we're at. And he'll let a guy come inside free. Just lazy move. I'm not trying to feed the fire of all the fans that hate Donovan Smith. He did overall well this game. I don't know why the one sack was his fault, because it wasn't. But that was lazy, and that's probably a good reason why Ronald Jones didn't score on that run. A guy on the left side should not make a play on the right side.
Correct.
For that way. So that's something he needs to get his butt reamed for that. Sack is not his fault. That was more Jensen, in my opinion. But you'll see this in the film study, guys, if you dare to take a peek at it. It's going to be a fun one. But more about the defense. where's somewhere where else I can say was bad? But I mean, overall, yeah, we played how our identity is. You live and die by the pressure, by the blitzes, and sometimes double moves will get beat by that. If the pressure doesn't get home, like the biggest play of their game, I think it was like a 38-yard pass to DJ Moore.
Right.
JVP nails Teddy Bridgewater the second after he gets rid of the ball. It wasn't a roughing the passer because he got there right. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's just that's how the Bucs defense is made. If you can't win on the first move, usually we're gonna win. He got there he lofted that bad boy out. That's what Bridgewater's best at. He's anticipation, accuracy, and not making mistakes. He did a lot of that. It's just when you can't prevent the other team from scoring, it's hard to win a game. But overall, I mean, the defense did well. They made a lot of corrections from the Saints game. They weren't passive. I think I said it like for the 5th time. But some other people in the chat were saying about zone defense and our young guys. How do you feel about that? Like Dean, SMB, Devin White, especially.
Yeah. No, I think it works. I think it works. I think it works when it's presented in the right way, especially when we're bringing pressure. I think zone blitzes are definitely where we, excel at. I think that's definitely an area that they need to be more consistent with. But, when we're trying to play zone and we're rushing just 3, that doesn't work. We've done that way too many times, I feel, especially lately. I think there was a time where we rushed 3 and they ended up getting a first down. They tried to, send back Will Golston at times and, try to get him in pass coverage. I get it, but yeah, I would like to see us just continue to rush 4 or more at all times. I don't like the rushing 3, trying to drop back into coverage with 8. That just doesn't do anything for you, unless it's like a, 3rd and 20 or like 3rd and 15, where it's a, extremely long situation and you can just keep everybody in front of you and then tackle. Yeah, that's okay. But they need to continue to stay aggressive and rush after the quarterback. Because that's what helps their coverage. When you have that rush and coverage working together, that's the main thing.
I mean, this is where we both kind of defer a little bit. I understand the system they're trying to run. Yes, it looks dumb when Vita Vea was out there, 350 pounds of him, dropping back into coverage. It does look dumb.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's a man in the way that's that size that can just put up his arms, at least try and deflect something, okay. And because everyone's keying in on that one guy. And then you have a Jamel Dean or a SMB coming from the outside. You were all looking in the middle, and then all of a sudden, holy shit, I got to look over there because the guy's coming around my backside. So I understand the illusion of pressure, especially with Vita Vea not being in there. He's their main centerpiece.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I'm just saying, like, when they only rush 3. That's
hell no. Hell no. Not only no, but hell no.
Yeah, that's when I have a problem. If they're rushing 3 and then bringing pressure from somewhere else, like you're saying, I'm okay with that. That's fine because you're creating, like you said, that distraction of, dropping a guy that shouldn't be dropping back, but he's out there, creating havoc. So, no, I like that. I like some of the things that they showed yesterday with JPP rushing as a middle linebacker, standing in the middle of the field and rushing that way. I like that. I want to see more of that, him rushing from the inside, bringing Devin White on the outside, just different things along that nature, I think is definitely good and beneficial. So that was a long answer, but but overall the defense is definitely, they can look at this tape and take some things from it and know that this is how they need to play consistently. And they've shown it in the past that they can be very good defensively, obviously with, destruction of the Packers offense and showing what they showed earlier in the year.
Yeah, I mean, so it's a credit to Bucs beating Bucs. We've said this multiple times. It's sad to say, but they do. I mean, I think the 2 genuine losses where you showed the most was the last game against the Saints and that Bears game.
Right.
Just dumb. Just dumb all over around. The first game against the Saints, I think we weren't ready. We weren't ready for that caliber of a team. But sadly, we got beat worse the second time. But yeah, that's out of the way. last week was last week. Just keep it in the back of your mind to remember when to start getting back in their face. Since we're talking about the Saints, let's just mention it now. Drew Brees, broken ribs, collapsed lung. He's probably going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. J-Boo wins. Jameis Winston will be in against the Falcons probably this week, Broncos, and hopefully the Falcons again. Hopefully it's 3 weeks. But what do you think about this? What do you think? Do you think Shaq Barrett did break those ribs earlier, and then this guy just kind of cemented it? What do you think about that before we keep going on with the Bucs?
Yeah, I think definitely there was some type of, broken rib happening during that hit that Shaq Barrett had on Drew Brees to force a fumble in that game. I think that's probably where it took place, because that was a big hit by him, and he definitely got him on the right side of his shoulder and rib area. So yeah, I mean, Drew Brees is a tough dude, and that's why he's one of the best. I mean, playing with broken ribs during the Bucs game, I know they're pretty much in control the whole game. So yeah, that's crazy. But now, that hit from San Francisco yesterday and just adding to the more pain and man. But yeah, he's going to be out for a little bit. But now, Jameis coming in, I think Jameis will do fine. Again, they're not going to ask him to do a lot. They can win. They can win with defense and special teams, and they're well coached. So I don't think Jameis is going to do poorly. I think he'll be okay.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and agree with some of the fans that think, oh, we're back in this race. It's not like we're ever out of the race. We're still, yes, we're going to have the Saints lose probably 2 or 3 games, or we're going to have to almost win out.
Mm-hmm.
If no, 2 or 3 games, 2 games, then we win out, yes. But either way, they have the upper hand on that division race. It's just, it looks like the battle between the Saints and the Bucs, pretty much. Not just here, but in the NFC in general. I mean, I think the Packers will lose another game just because their defense isn't up to snuff. Seattle, I don't know what the hell happened. They just have no defense at all. And when you get to the playoffs, you need defense.
Yeah, teams are figuring, Seattle out. I think that's the biggest thing. And, you still have the Rams out there who that's our next opponent. They have a very good defense. Offensively, I think you can definitely take advantage of the weakness, which is their quarterback and Jared Goff. I think if you can get after him and send pressure and more pressure, you'll be just fine. The running game, I think you should be able to stop. Obviously, without their left tackle, that's a big blow. So
good.
Yeah, good. The NFC is definitely, I think, like you said, the Saints, I think, are just coming on stronger and stronger. I don't think this Drew Brees injury is really going to affect them because, like I said, they're very well coached. They know how to run the football, and they're not going to ask Jameis to do a bunch of different things. They're not going to ask him to go downfield all the time. They're going to mix it up with, some short stuff and maybe some intermediate stuff. But yeah, I think they'll be okay. And then they'll probably use Taysom Hill in some type of way like they have been in the past. So,
well, here's my devil's advocate. I'm hoping Jameis Winston does Jameis Winston things. He was sacked twice in this game.
Very
They
possible.
don't show that. So I'm hoping they get bit by that bug. Yeah, -2 yards. They don't show the sacks. I don't know why. But, I mean, the Falcons are coming up. Ra has them going. If you don't know who Ra is, Raheem Morris has them clicking a little bit. I mean, 2 games in a row, I think. So if they can take at least one of those, I'll be happy. I mean, it's just we got to I don't want to say we got to get them off their momentum, but the Saints are a great team. I agree with you. They don't need Jameis Winston to win a game. I'm hoping Jameis Winston is the reason why they lose a game. I'll say that. But then again, watch him be the reason why they explode for like 40 or 50 points next week.
Well, I'll just say, Jameis has done, career-wise very well against the Falcons. He usually plays well against them for the most part. He's had good games against that team. So, I feel like he'll play okay. But like you said, I mean, any given moment, Jameis can either explode, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, or it can be a five pick game, where he's throwing pick sixes everywhere and giving gifts to the opposing team. So, and he almost did it yesterday. I mean, the 49er defender dropped an interception that was right in his hands. So, he's doing Jameis things like you said. It's an up and down battle with him, as far as consistency goes. But I just feel like the Saints and their coaching, they're gonna make sure like he doesn't lose them the game whatsoever. They're gonna find a way to limit him where it's one read or run or something like that. Make it simple.
Yeah. So again, I'm keeping hope alive, playing that devil's advocate, lowering their system. I agree with you. They're probably going to make it simple. Don't lose the game. Just run it. Win it by a close game.
Right. They'll lean on their defense.
That's what you ask your backup to do. Just get us back to when my starter can come back. And that's usually what happens. Let's see. But then again, he could be thinking this is my opportunity to shine and show that I could be another $25, $30 million man. Let me get my money.
He's playing for a contract.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's what prevails, and he says, no, coach, I'm going to throw it to where I want, 35, 40 yards down the field.
Right. And the Falcons
and that's me as a Buck fan. I'm being upset. I want bad things to happen to the Saints.
But, and the Falcons can score points. I mean, they have Matt Ryan and great receivers, so they know how to put up points. So it could be definitely a challenge if the Saints offense struggles early and get behind, Yeah,
I mean, I know we're kind of going off on a tangent, but Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Hurst, their tight end, that's a lot of weapons that Matt Ryan has to throw to. So it should be a good game. If their defense can stop anyone, it could be a really good game. So fingers crossed on that one, but let's keep going on about the Bucs. Some people were asking about the Rams. Yeah, their left tackle's out for the season, looks like. And some people were saying who's someone to stop. Someone answered with X_1K, said they have two good receivers, Woods and Cup. I guess touch on them really quick before we keep talking some more Buck football.
Yeah, when you look at the Rams, obviously offensively, they have a lot of backs that they utilize, like a trio of running backs. You have Malcolm Brown, you have Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson that they use, in different ways. Not a great running game, I would say. But they are efficient in how they run the football. Use a lot of 3 wide receiver sets, so they're going to be in 11 personnel a lot with their receivers. And Josh Reynolds, they have Robert Woods is very consistent, and then Cooper Kupp is he's a very astute route runner, like he's always very efficient. So they present some options, but I think they're definitely weaker offensively than their defense. Defense is the strength of their team so far. I just feel like offensively you could shut them down, especially with pressure and being aggressive with their guys. Hopefully that's the case that the Bucs present. Just continue to attack Jared Goff, and I would pretty much blitz them the whole game because a lot of times they're using play action, and if you blitz them, you could catch them. With Goff with having his back turn, to the line of scrimmage. So I would just do that, consistently. I think that could win you. And force him into mistakes, which we saw last year when they played, the Rams. Defensively, obviously Aaron Donald, that's where you start at. Guys,
check this out, though. Floyd had 3 freaking sacks. I need to go watch this game again. 3 sacks against Russell. Their offensive line's cheddar cheese, though. Let's be honest. Seattle.
Right.
But that is insane.
Yeah. They've added Leonard Floyd. He's one of their outside pass rushers. Obviously they still have Aaron Donald and, Michael Brockers and, Jalen Ramsey is a big part of their team. He's their shutdown corner, but really it's the Darius, I think it's Darius Williams. Like he's been playing outstanding. He's got 4 picks on the year. I think he's got 10 pass breakups. So he's one of their corners. I think he's the nickel corner and he does a really good job. So they run a similar style of defense with us. They're a 3-4 style. They don't blitz. I don't think they blitz as much, but they just do a good job of really, taking your strengths away. So just got to be prepared for it. But I think you can find ways to attack with our weapons. If you utilize, obviously the run game and the play action, I think you should have some success.
I don't think Aaron Donald got a stat. I don't think he got 1 tackle, 1 nothing.
Right. Well, he's probably being triple teamed, double teamed, and that's where he causes his, disruption. Yeah.
I mean, overall, we'll do more research and give you a game preview later in the week, probably Friday or Saturday, whatever we can get time. But this stretch is going to be really hard. I mean, it was the Saints, Panthers. Now the Rams on Monday night. Again, someone made a point about primetime, but we'll catch on that. Then the Chiefs. Yeah. There's no rest for the weary over here. We got to keep pedal to the metal. There's no time to learn. It's time to go.
Ideally, you're 8-4 at the bye. That's what you hope for.
Hell,
you would like to be
9.
You want to be 9-3, obviously. Yeah, we want to beat both of these teams, but we definitely can't afford to lose both of them. We have to win at least one out of the two. Hopefully, 2 out of 2. 9-3 at the bye would be perfect because then you set yourself up for potentially 13-3 and running the table because the last 4 games are all winnable games against lesser opponents, and it would just set you up really nice with the bye week and then coming back full strength for the Falcons, Lions, or Minnesota, Falcons, then Lions, and then Falcons again. So
such a weird schedule the way they set it up. Let's keep going on. Let's get some questions in here. Someone's talking about like how the Rams defense is set up, how Jalen Ramsey shut down DK Metcalf. He only had 2 receptions. Someone was saying, do we think we even target Mike Evans because of that? Let me give my point real quick on this.
Mm-hmm.
I took a picture of the 3 wide receivers we have at the end of the game. They're joking, talking, and Saints fans chimed in on this. I thought this was hilarious. I said, when every week you have to face up against Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown, it's going to be a rough week for you. Just be honest. Yeah. And then Saints fans chimed in, oh, yeah, last week, that was Antonio Brown's first game back. Then it's Chris Godwin with a broken finger, trying not to catch the ball with that finger. And then you add that all up, the Bucs offensive game plan was the dumbest thing known to man. Again, Bucs beating Bucs. So it's not the personnel that's the problem. It's the ones telling what the personnel to do that is a problem. If you keep rinse repeating the good stuff you do, good things will happen. When you try and recreate the wheel, bad stuff will happen. So play action works. How many times did they do it in this game and it just produced? Don't get why they don't do it. Yes, a running game, we've said this multiple times if you follow us. Running game adds to it, makes that play action even more aggressive. But either way, a defense has to read the keys. If it's a quarterback going back to fake a handoff, they have to read that first. That little subtle reaction, they're not going to blindly just frickin' go in. That's not assignment football. That's what sometimes you guys yell at our Bucs defense for. That's what happens. So Byron Leftwich needs to get off his high horse and see that play action works. I love that John Ledyard always asks that question to put Leftwich on that. Oh, the fans. If he says something again, I'm going to laugh. But I'm hoping we start doing that a lot more. You got to find a way to get the pressure off Tom Brady. That will help because if you got to think run blocking first. Oops, I got to think, where is it going? Again, that'll only help us our offense. But with those 3 wide receivers, okay, you shut down one, Jalen Ramsey's going to have to cover 3.
Yeah.
If they covered Mike Evans, okay, go to the other one. It's that simple. If that's how worried you are, but the second one of them goes off, the Rams are going to send him over. Mike Evans is open. That's what they did in this game. They balanced it out. Whoever had the easier matchup, they went to. Mike Evans was on a linebacker. They threw him to the ball. I called it in the preview. Jesus. Yeah. Like, stuff that is so simple you think they would do every time. They did it in this game.
Yeah, the
Don't
utilization. Yeah, the utilization of all 3 receivers was much better. Obviously using Antonio Brown with the quick stuff. They had him on the slants. They had him, even end arounds and doing different things. Even though, some of them wasn't as successful as others, but then using him as like the out routes, he got the big play on the out route where it was set up perfectly. He ran that to perfection. He had the corner fooled. I mean, so there was a lot of good things from all 3 of those guys. Utilizing Mike obviously in the red zone, throwing it high, letting him go get it. It was a great catch. So yeah, and then when he's on linebacker, you see that matchup and you go after it. So a lot of good things. They have to continue to do that, especially against the Rams. Use the tight ends as well because their linebackers, it's a 3-4 system. Their linebackers are not used to covering guys like that. So you attack their middle linebackers in that way with our tight ends and use the receivers in the crossing routes. Use that space with the play action that's going to be available So there should be opportunities to score points if we, obviously run it the right way. The big thing is going to be protection, making sure Tom Brady is protected, making sure, move the launch point, for Tom and give him more space to throw to.
Yeah. And it's something you just mentioned, the tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
I read this. G Vegas in the chat said, I don't think the Rams can cover our tight end, so you might see them have a bigger day. I read it as in, I don't think Ramsey can cover our tight ends. But it's the truth. I mean, attack their weaknesses, exploit the weakness so that they're going to have to shy away from their strength. That's literally, we hide our weakness with our strength, with our pressure. Yes, we're not going to be able to cover down the field for long periods of time if we're sending the house or if we're sending more than 4. Yeah. So that's part of the equation. Our strength has to be our strength for our weaknesses to be hidden. Or we have strengths all across the field on offense, so there really isn't a weakness. It's the only weakness is the one telling the person what to do. Yeah. And I think that's evident. I've said it way too many damn times. But yes, I agree. Throw to the damn tight ends. We did that in this game as well. Brate, Gronk. That was one hell of a play he had against the Panthers. A 44-yard run, the catch and run.
Yeah, that was great.
Visions of the old Gronk. and people say he doesn't have speed. He's old. No, it's there.
Really
He's just
fine.
It's just the opportunities. He was the only guy in the Patriots, so he was forced to have those opportunities. Yeah. He's probably the 4th guy in this team. So be realistic for your expectations. Do you expect him to have a 1,000-yard season realistically? No. I don't get what some fans think, or what ESPN thinks. Forgive me.
Yeah, and just one more point on the Rams. Yeah. I mean, just look at the Miami game, and how Miami attacked their offense. I think that's how we have to do it defensively. I mean, they send a lot of pressure at Jared Goff, and zone blitzes will always get him fooled. I mean, he'll throw interceptions. He threw a lot. I think he threw a couple in that game. So that's something that we have to look at. And then how they attacked them defensively. That was with Tua, starting his first game against that defense, and he did pretty good. Obviously, he got help with the turnovers and making plays on special teams, but there'll be opportunities is what I'm going to say, especially with our offense and our weapons.
Well, Beef Tongue's in the chat. He's under another alias. But yeah, let's keep going on. What do you think about the Cardinals? I guess we'll touch on that.
Oh, the Cardinals? Yeah, I mean, God, what a play that was to DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, Jesus. And then Kyler Murray able to evade the pressure, roll to his left. He's right-handed, so he's throwing the ball, back shoulder, or like just throwing it across his body pretty much. And that was just crazy. And for it to be accurate like it was, and then DeAndre Hopkins jumps over 3 guys and comes down with the football. Yeah, I mean, and they beat a very good team in the Buffalo Bills. I mean, Buffalo is for real. Like, that's a really good team over in the AFC East. Probably going to win the division. So
that little dude's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the Cardinals are right there. I think they're in first place, or they're tied. Everyone's 6-3 in that division, besides 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah, 6-3. Everyone. Yep, you called it.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a heated.
And that's a big
division.
That's a big game this week. I believe they play the Seahawks this week on Thursday Night Football. So,
wow,
big game for them.
Jeez. Well, yeah, the Cardinals up and coming. Someone said their defense would be their downfall. I kind of agree with that. They're still very young in that. They still have young. They don't have really centerpieces just yet. I don't think. Mm-hmm. Besides Buda Baker, who we all love, or I guess Plus and I love. Should have been a Buccaneer, but we're pretty satisfied with our safeties right now. But that team's going to be special. Their offense is humming. The defense is the only thing they need. Defenses win championships. You've heard it on the Geico commercial, I think it is. The dads, defenses win championships. It's true. I mean, your defense needs to be what shuts down the other team. You can't just be one-sided on this. And the Bucs defense can be that. It's just... game plan. Keep game planning. Gosh, stick to what you're good at.
Right.
Let's keep going. Yep, the first place 2-0 against division. Breeze got hurt. Yes, Breeze got hurt, Beef Tongue. Where you been, buddy? Damn. Come on now. And then G Vegas said Brate's effort on that 3rd and 19 was awesome. Yeah, you called it a Superman, right?
Yeah, no, that was tremendous. That was a
Uh,
great job by Brady too. He was
yeah,
really looking
staring
like at the
downfield.
middle of the field, and then he throws a laser to Brate, and they all drop back, and then Brate just runs it and gets the first down.
And then someone else mentioned AB and Scooter need more screen. This is Charles Reed said AB and Scooter need more screen passes, especially when you have to deal with SAP 2.0, aka McDonald or Donald.
Right. No, definitely. Yeah, you would like to see Scotty get more involved in the game. Obviously, you can't go 4 wide receivers all the time, but Antonio, there were some good things. I know they tried to get him on a couple of screens. And obviously the Chris Godwin one worked perfection, with Mike Evans blocking, and then Godwin taking that one for I think like 20 or 30 yards. So yeah, the screen game is going to be huge, but I like it when they use the wide receivers, not the running backs. And also, I forgot to mention before we run out of time here, Leonard Fournette. I'm not a fan of utilizing him at all in the run game. I just don't think it's going to work. His vision is just not there right now. I don't know what he's looking at, but he's missing a lot of opportunities where a Ronald Jones would take it for 10 or 20 yards, and he's just not seeing the hole. He's overrunning or not running hard enough, is what I'm seeing. So I just don't like the option. And 3rd down option, okay, yeah, pass him the football. He had a drop 2 yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
I would like to see honestly more Keyshawn Vaughn. I know he's a rookie, but he showed more promise as far as an actual running back and running through the tackles and making plays. I like to see him out there. I know he had the one mistake in Chicago, and it seems like he's been out the rest of the year. So I would just like to see him back in there.
Who?
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, Fournette, for a guy that's a better pass catcher, he did drop some good ones, but he is better than Rojo. I have to admit that. I think he just doesn't have the urgency that Rojo has. He's just trying to find a big hole to kind of run through.
He just doesn't see it. I mean, there's holes gaping wide open, and he just misses them for whatever reason.
I don't know what. Maybe it's something that he learned from the Jaguars, like a slower read something or waiting for a counter for something to develop. When we're really a zone, you have to run and find your zone. You have to be moving. It's like
he's hit the hole.
Yeah, he's like slow with it. I don't get that. Like it's when you see Rojo and him run on different plays, it's night and day. Like Rojo's, boom, he's going. This guy,
Rojo's a one and cut guy. Like when he sees the hole,
Fournette can be that.
He can be that too, and he should be. Like he's shown signs of it. Like it's
there
sometimes. Yeah, and then I don't know what's going on though. He's missing way too many opportunities that are there.
Yeah, well, we're gonna need them for this long haul. But let's get some questions before we end this thing. G Vegas said, I think Godwin is the best wide receiver for screen because he gives max effort and makes the first guy miss all the time. I can agree with that.
Yeah, ditto.
Buck Squad said, your record for remainder of the season.
Oh boy. Well, I like our chances in the last 4 games of the season. I think we should be able to, sweep that. Obviously the Falcons games are going to be tough because it's division. So you give us 4 wins right there. That's 11 wins. So I'm still going to stick with 12-4. I think we should be able to split at least one of the Rams or Chiefs games. I think 12-4 is a good spot, but at least minimum 11-5. And you should be in the playoffs.
Can I say this? I can't believe the season's gone this damn fast. We only have 6 damn games. It hurts me that I haven't been able to go see a Tom Brady as a Buccaneer game. I mean, this is bull crap. Like seriously, 2020, like come on, and this shit's still going up. I don't know, but overall, I'm gonna play. You said 11-5?
Yeah, it's a minimum.
I'm gonna say
should be able to win the last 4.
I'm gonna go out on a wild and crazy guy and say 12-4. We're only gonna lose 1. I hope we don't lose any, but realistically, I think honestly we could win these 2 and then go brain fart and lose one of these.
Yeah.
To be honest, possible. A Buccaneer way, we win the 2 great ones and then brain fart in these.
Yeah, the Falcons, I think, is one where we have to watch out for. I think that's definitely, obviously division games, they can go either way. So, and usually, I don't think we swept the Falcons lately. But again, it's a new team, and so are the Falcons. So,
Yeah, and then Danny Danilo said, "You got to go see the goat." I want to. Ticket
yeah,
prices
but
at $500 a pop.
I'm not paying $300 to sit in the 300 section. That's just ridiculous.
Right?
And people actually pay that, which just amazes me.
I got a kid coming. That's another thing that makes me crazy. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a kid coming in January. The season's almost over. He's gonna be here already.
Yeah.
So this is just insane.
I can't even imagine what would playoff tickets would cost if we did get a home game, which I don't think it doesn't look like we will, just because of where the standings are. We're the 5th seed right now, so we'd have to go travel to Philly. But I just couldn't imagine what the prices would be on that.
Could you imagine if we went to the Super Bowl? What that would be?
Oh God!
And I've already told my wife and work that hell, if they go, I'm not going to work. I'm not staying.
Yeah.
Could you imagine what my wife would say? What? I suspect. Oh my gosh! But geez. Let's get off of that.
Well, Mark's wife is the key for the Bucs winning.
That's true.
As long as she says they're gonna win, we usually win. So.
Literally.
Yeah.
If I ask her the day of, what's going to happen? I need to just be nice to her, because every time I'm nice to her, oh, they're going to win. Don't worry, landslide. It happens. Somehow.
It does.
It happens. Yeah. And if I go, I'm going to watch the Bucs game. Don't. They're going to lose. Every time.
Yeah.
The Bears game, it happened.
Perfect example.
Right? You just said it too. Yeah. The Bears game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe the Saints game, it happened too. So I'm like, I'm going to kiss her feet, I guess, every day. Yeah. But let's see some other questions before we head on out. Hot take is, when Devin White doesn't have a standout game, this defense does the same either way because of his coverage liability. Ooh. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry. Say that again. I got sidetracked.
His hot take is, when Devin White doesn't have a standout game, this defense does the exact same either way because of his coverage liability.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, he's just not ready for coverage right now. Any type of zone coverage, or, feeling out where guys are coming from as far as direction or angles, like, he struggles. I mean, he just struggles to go backwards. And they ask him to go backwards quite a lot. They ask him to do a lot of responsibilities. But when he's playing aggressive and downhill and he's in the right assignment, he does a really good job. And I thought he did a better job of that yesterday, being in the right spots more consistently. He did some good things, but yeah, I would agree with that. I think this defense doesn't really need him to have a huge game. You like to see him make a lot of tackles, because that means the guys up front are working well and doing their job. But yeah, not coverage. That's not his thing.
It's sad. I mean, it's a game where you're going to have to get, if you want to be one of the best linebackers, and I know he does. And I know he's sees it. He's
just going to have to work on it.
Yeah, I know he sees it every time they go over film. I mean, when they use him in short zone and just cover what's in front of you, I'm okay with that. But they send him back a lot. Like, we're talking like 20 yards deep.
Right.
Just because he can do it with athletic gifts doesn't mean he can do it mentally right now. Because he doesn't see the field how you should. That's a liability. Like, he just made a point. And I can agree with that. He is a liability.
And just one more point. If you you hope he sees it, because when he does, man, he's gonna be a tremendous player. Because when he sees the field like it should be seen, he'll be one of the more dominant guys. You could see him be like, Brian Urlacher and Luke Kuechly, Patrick Willis. Is probably the best example. He could be that guy.
It's the feel for the game. It's not just seeing it or mentally breaking it down. It's feeling, okay, if I'm dropping back in the zone, I should feel where the guy's going. Right. Get a handout, feel awareness. Okay, maybe he's going this way, so I should shade that way. Don't keep going that way just because he ran past me on this side. Stuff like that, little things where he'll get it. And it's just his second year. Right. He's still playing like
he does a lot. Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
We hold him to a huge, high standard, but I mean, that's a good thing, though. Raise your standard.
Because he was the 5th overall pick, and it plays a lot into it.
Oh, we were critical of him last year. If you guys followed us then, our podcast. But Well, this dude, he's really damn good. His grip strength is insane.
Yeah, he's still a baby.
Yeah, but let him keep learning. Oh, Beef Tongue had one question before we head on out. It was
Okay.
about why don't we run more jet sweeps or just more sweeps in general?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're trying to do more of that. Again, it just hasn't been overly successful yet, but they're trying. I mean, they've tried it with Scotty Miller. They tried it with Antonio Brown. I thought that concept was actually really good. Just didn't execute it the right way. It ended up being, I think, -2 yards. But you know, uh, it's just really not a part of their offense, to be honest. I mean, they don't run a lot of motion unless Tom Brady initiates it. Um, so I don't know. That's a good question though. I like to see more of it, especially with the speed that we have. With now Miller and Brown.
I mean, a lot of times, I know in the past we've hated the sweeps because our offensive line, we said, just couldn't do it.
Hmm.
We're talking just the sweep to the side, not the wide receiver jet sweep. But to be honest, like I think with the possibilities this offense has, and that defenses have to think, oh, we got to cover the outsides so much, they can't center in on that. So that's why they're being successful. I love
Mm.
the double offensive line, left tackle, left guard moving all over to the right, and the tight end
Hmm.
blocking. I love that. They just
Yeah.
brought that in probably 3 games ago,
Hmm.
and it's working to perfection. To be honest, they need to keep doing it.
Yeah, they did a toss run to Fournette
Yeah,
yesterday, and that should have been a bigger run. Again, Fournette, I don't know what he's doing. He's just hesitating way too much, but a great block by Donovan
Donovan.
Smith. And yeah, I mean, and they set it up. Tyler Johnson did a good job on the crackback, and yeah, so they're seeing opportunities, which I like. They just have to be consistent in how they attack it, but there's definitely options there.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, thank you for all the questions. Thank you for all the interaction in the chat. You guys have been lighting it up.
Yeah,
Awesome
thank you guys.
questions.
Appreciate it.
I mean, you guys make the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Other than that, be prepared for Wednesday, probably with the offensive and defensive highlights. Friday or Saturday for that film breakdown for the Rams game. But other than that, guys, thank you for everything. And as always, go Bucs.
Go Bucks.